Hi, my name is Wade. I moved in my camper full time. Come along with me while I travel to new places, try new things, and meet new people. I guess let's start with the plan, which is essentially to take this vehicle and start here in Northern California, San Francisco Bay Area, drive up to Alaska, to the Arctic Circle, through the summer months, and then ultimately turn around, do a U-turn up there, come back through the Bay Area, and then ultimately head down to Argentina. So that is the general plan over about 18 months. So let's go inside and talk about where we are right now with the plan. All right, I just kind of want to introduce myself. My name is Wade from WadeONearth, and I figured I would start my journey today and kind of doing a video recording of the days in and days outs of it all. I am in a transition from working, 30 plus years in the emergency services field. It's been a wonderful career. It's been super awesome, but I'm getting ready to retire from that. And moving forward, I'll be looking to change a lot of things. Part of it is downsizing everything I have here to fit into a four-wheel camper. So it's been an interesting process. I've lived in this house for 20 plus years, raised 5 kids in it. Had a lot of great experiences, and it's really very strange to kind of deconstruct all of that, get rid of everything that was kind of not necessarily, and boil down what is the most important things of the most important things to save for a future date. But for now, I'm still working through what that is. It does bring up a lot of interesting emotions and feelings, and some of it's super incredibly positive, and some of it's discombobulating, to say the least. So let me also talk about a little bit of why the change now. So essentially, like I said, 30 years in the emergency services field. Kind of blew up my knee, in a significant way. So that has led me to reevaluate issues of time and service and all of those things. So I was in a position of quasi management, still working directly in the field though. And how does that, doing that and raising 5 children and all of the structure that brings, and the social constructs that are developed over 30 years of doing those sort of things. What does it really mean to live a purposeful life where I am doing things deliberately because that's what I want to do versus what I've always done? So this is part of that process. I need to deconstruct the old paradigm, so to speak, so I can reconstruct a new one and live that life more purposefully. So to do that, I got to get rid of a lot of the stuffs. For me, that's just kind of my process. There's a lot of right ways to do it, and this is just how I'm doing it. It probably won't be perfect, but we'll see how it goes. But I'll kind of show you around. And why is it so interesting, right? So obviously, this room is still actually somewhat furnished because I'm still using it quite a bit. Now, slightly cluttered, and I do apologize for that. So, you know, the moving boxes and the things are all here. So this is the living room where, you know, we had many of Christmas and Thanksgiving and wonderful dinners and all the kind of great things that make great memories. Of course, here are some of the medical gear that I have that have went from, you know, post-surgery times 3 weeks, and now I'm transitioning more into strengthening and hardening so I can get ready for what's in the future. Of course, like when you're getting rid of stuff, you just kind of end up with all these little things here and there. This is some leftover camping gear that I'll be giving to the kids or donating to folks who need it. Some sleeping bags and backpacks and stuff. But let's head down the hallway here. I'll be honest with you though, I've used this room way more in the last few months than we did forever. We used to, you know, eat dinner there and whatnot, but now we do all kinds of other stuff. Anyways, so moving down here, and I'm explaining this, I'll show you this stuff because it's important, because these rooms have so much memory, and that's why it's so difficult to transition. Where, you know, this was Nick's room, and then Colin, my youngest, moved into it for his computer room. And now it's empty, and it's a very, very kind of a strange, unusual feeling to be experiencing. And this is Brianna and Colin's room when they were both small. Ultimately, Brianna, my daughter, had it for herself for a little while, right? And then Andres, of course, lived in here for a bit too. And then I'm still working on this room a little bit, but this was my youngest room for years and years and years. So, you know, basically the plan is to get the place ready to rent while I travel, right? And my sweetheart making the house a home. And then here's the master bedroom, which obviously we're still in. But, you know, all the pictures have come down. All the stuff is starting to, you know, I've emptied the closets, the last little bit of clothing and whatnot. Here, let me turn this on. You know, it's still in here, but, you know, just trying to whittle down like 22 years of stuff into the most essential is kind of strange. I even got rid of my dresser. I'm using a step up. Okay, so when my insomnia shows up at 4 in the morning, I can do some step ups, but you know. And then of course here's the backyard where we used to have just a ton of fun and a lot of good stuff. So it is unusual to try to navigate what all that looks like and to go from there. All right, well, I'll be honest with you. I tried a garage sale, total bust. So I'm doing the next best thing. I'm going to try to give the bed, the dining room table, some excess camping gear, some medical equipment, welder and stuff to the Boys and Girls Clubs. Hopefully they can use it. I'll give an update tomorrow afternoon, see how it goes. But slowly and surely, I know it's an absolute disaster. And when I look in here, I'm like, oh my God, right? But, I mean, this place used to be filled. And now it's becoming empty, which is both really cool and both totally freaks me out. All right. Well, this is part of the trip as well. I'm up here on my roof with my solar panels, and why I thought it was kind of important to do this is because obviously the vehicle I'm driving has a pretty big carbon footprint. I'll be real honest with you. There's no way to sugarcoat it. So with the lucrative financing that's available on solar panels this day and age, I was able to design a system that will manage both the power demand of both of the house, but to be able to overproduce a little bit, by about 30% to help me offset that difference and help reduce my carbon footprint for the trip. Here's another thing: the junk drawers. Like, you think you just after a while be able to just throw it all away, and you're like, oh, I need this, and oh, I need that. It's one of the hardest things to go through in the old junk drawer. Well, we're pretty much done. The house is for the most part empty, except for one last bed. I'll give you guys a walk around before I get ready to cut everything loose. But there has been one complication that's kind of showed up at the house. And I don't know if you can see it, is right there. Huh, maybe Maeve. Well, she's dead to the world right now. It's because she went on a 5-mile run. And that's also why the brand new carpet is covered in a bunch of towels. Because she's in and out of that door, and we just had rain and blah, blah, blah. It makes it harder to rent the place, and you know how these things go. But she could be a new addition to the trip. I'm not 100% sure quite yet. So we'll see. But it's been a lot of fun, but a lot of work. So I'll update you more as we go. And there we have it. So how I ended up with Maeve is my son and his girlfriend had adopted Maeve, few months old Belgian Malinois, and they were co-parenting. Everything was working out great, but unfortunately when their relationship didn't work out, because of their work schedule now separate, it was a little bit more difficult for them to raise Maeve. So I've ended up with her for right now, and we're testing the waters to see if she could be, a positive addition to the trip. So here's the latest update. Completely moved out of the house. We were able to rent it. So right now we're at my lovey's house here in Alameda. It was weird, really, just to pare everything down. So what won't fit in that camper, for the most part, is gone, right? I do have a few things that I'll keep here in Alameda during the travels, but for the most part, we are now living with the essentials of the essentials. So that's super awesome. It is nice to have that accomplished, right? It was a lot of work. I didn't think it was going to be as much work as it was, but between getting the house ready and painting it and fixing all the things that I hadn't fixed over the years, it's all done now. So it's really good to have that project behind me. And this is part of the deconstruction of that old life and a construction of a new life. So the general plan is come June 15th-ish, right around there, we'd be heading north to Alaska to start the Pan American trip. So super awesome. Really looking forward to that. We have a few trips coming up just to kind of streamline things and find out those last little things that you need. And it's because it's easier when you kind of have a home base than if you're on the road. So looks like will probably be the Highway 395. Obviously, working with Maeve. She's a Belgian Malinois. Super high energy. She's been a lot of fun, but super rewarding. I was not anticipating that, right? Came kind of out of left field. So, but that's kind of how life is, right? These things show up. Like everything's going really according to plan with Maeve, and in a lot of ways it is, but she has significant dog reactivity on a leash. So kind of what that means is she loses the control rod in her head and goes, crazy. So we've taken it from just crazy, explosive, through positive treats, down to something that can be kind of managed with a cinch collar, but we haven't been able to get over that last little bit. And the problem associated with that is, hey, this world is filled with dogs. And, you know, for the trip, 50-foot camper and a big backyard is great if she can behave herself around other animals. So this is a significant issue. If she can't get over this leash reactivity, I don't think Maeve is going to be able to come on the trip. So we're working real hard. We're working with a professional trainer. We've got a 9-week program. We're going into week 3. Super structured, so we'll see. Leave it. Well, this is Maeve and I's first camping trip. What do you think about it, Maeve? Yes or no? All the bugs, yes. So we're gonna see what happens when we have a high energy dog in a public campground with roughly 51 square feet of the camper. Well, maybe it's 56, but anyways, pretty small. But I'm gonna take her for a walk here shortly, but this is, it's a good girl, she's already drank up a beer. That's the camper, we're all set up. Got a little fireplace we won't use, but cute little place, great view, Mount Diablo, super awesome. She's tethered right now, but we'll go from there. Alrighty, I'll let you know how it goes. So we're getting a lot of glare from the sun. It's probably hard for you to see, but this is one of the views from the Juniper Campground up here in Mount Diablo. Maeve, do you approve? Maeve approves. Cute little place. I would recommend it. It was earlier pretty warm out here in the Tri-Valley area, up to 90s, but it's cooled off up here quite nicely. So here we go. So I'd have to say, you know, it's end of April, and we've had obviously a lot of rain here in NorCal, and just like a 1-minute walk from my little campsite is this beautiful area here, and we're gonna get a killer sunset. So super duper nice. Maeve likes it. She's having fun. Of course, we got to keep her on a leash because we're in a campground. It's the right thing to do. So to give you an idea of the view, this is right next to campsite 30, our campsite. Super awesome, super gorgeous. Maeve says she doesn't understand the beauty of it all. How, Maeve? Well, well, she's out scout, so that's good. So it's possible, man and dog in a very small area. That's important too. Well, we made it through our first night of camping. Wasn't horrible. So she wandered around the bed a little bit, but overall not too horrible. What'd you think of it, maybe? Well,